I'm April Roth-Gulotta, and I'm an instructor in the School of Communication Studies, and I have been here for 12 years. Students come in, I think, with Gcalm, and they have this idea that they can't do Gcalm, that they can't give a speech, that they can't give a presentation, and I think that it's very important for me to create an environment that is healthy and relaxing to them, so that they know that that it's a safe environment. Yeah, which I love because I get to teach incoming freshmen. So I kind of always have my pulse on what the university looks like. So when I request my schedule, I request Gcom. I love it. I always know what JMU is going to look like. It's awesome. The greatest gift that I think that people can take away from Gcom is to be self-confident public speakers. And that's not an easy feat. You know, a lot of times on the first day of class or the second day of class, I'll have my students give a little intro speech. And I see them and they come up and their hands shake, or their voice shakes, or they break out in hives when they're starting to talk, and you know, they get these splotches up their necks, and I see the self-doubt creeping in on their faces, and I want them to know truly that they can do anything. And I think that it takes an environment of trust and love and knowledge to build up good public speakers, good, strong, confident public speakers. And so far, it's been really an incredible record. By the end of every semester, I've got really, really strong public speakers, and it's awesome. It's awesome, and that's the greatest gift as a professor, to see that change in my students. I always liked that he was sort of the outsider, and that he sort of spoke for the people that didn't have a voice. And that started to resonate with me and started to make more sense to me in graduate school. That he sort of spoke for the people that didn't have a voice. And I felt like I could connect with him and his music. We're still listening to his lyrics asking for people to change the way they eat, change the way they live, change the way they treat each other, because the way that they're doing it isn't working. And it's on, literally, he says, it's on us to do what we got to do to survive. He tells people to respect their mothers. We all came from a woman, got our name from a woman. So there's a lot of high quality to his lyrics, and he lived his message. And then when we look at John Mayer, who our society and our culture really embraced, and who was #1 on the pop culture list for, I wish I had the statistics in front of me, but he was on #1 for Waiting for the World to Change. He literally, in Waiting for the World to Change, says over 30 times in that song, wait for the world to change. So he said, I have a major problem with that. He's telling your generation, who can do whatever they want to do, because you're the people who have the power to change the world, to sit and do nothing and wait on the world to change. Yeah, it's called the Frankenstein Fear. It's a fear of things that we create, which I didn't even know that it had a name until I was in graduate school and my professor told me it had a name. So I'm really, really afraid of robots. And oh my goodness. So like, I had a student wear a robot shirt to class one time, and I had to ask them to turn it inside out because I couldn't even look at it in lecture. I have a fear of robot voices. I I don't know if it's that I fear that they'll take over the world but you should know that a robot will kill you and step over your body and not care anything about it. Like, I'm deathly afraid of robots. Totally freaked out. And the very first thing that I do every day is when I wake up in the morning, I go downstairs, and in my quiet time, I pray for my students, and I pray that when they're in my classroom, that they feel the difference in my class, and that difference is God, and that they feel love in my class, and that they also feel, and that they're also blessed every day. And I think that it's really important, maybe, and that they also know that someone believes in them. And I hope that whether it's through a smile or through eye contact or through my words of encouragement, that every one of my students knows that I believe in them. So that's what I would want them to know.